Thomas, I'm ready on your page.
Okay.
Let me, okay. Here we go. Let me share your screen. So, you want to start discussing about it?
Yeah, sure. This week was about electronics production. So we began with Guillaume to look into the fabrication of a PCB. It was quite a challenge because we use a really big CNC mill. We don't have like a small one, which is normally used, I think, to build PCBs. So we had to use as well a non-conventional way to do it, using conic mills and conic V-bit material instead of the normal ones, because we didn't have received the mills yet. So it took us a few tries before we can actually get a PCB that would work correctly, because the first times we tried, it was the cut was not good enough. So we did it like I think 3 or 4 times, but it finally worked, which was good because it gives me the opportunity to learn how to handle the machine, how to configure the files correctly for the CNC to read it. So yeah, so it was good. And then we started to look into the soldering, which was really tricky as well for me because I never did it since I was like 13 years old. So yeah, took me quite some time to get comfortable with it. And so unfortunately we couldn't finish the PCB, finish the soldering of the components because, like you know, we were missing some of the components. But I tried to put as many as I could on the board. Here you can see all the tries we made with the PCBs. What can I say? We tried to mix techniques of soldering. So I used both of the techniques that Neil talked about, which is the hot air blower with the soldering paste, and I also used the soldering iron with the soldering tin. And for some components, that is the quartz and one of the resistance, I used they were not SMD, so I had to drill little holes in the PCB to solder them, which was really tricky as well because we only had a little hand drill, so it's not like a fixed drill, so it was quite hard to do a proper and nice hole in the board, but I think it worked anyway. So here's the result.
This is the one with the right milling bit?
Yes. No, this is the one we did on Friday. So it was not the right milling bit, but it was the best result we could get with the one we had. And then we milled other boards yesterday, and I think we have a picture just above.
Thomas,
this one, yes.
Thomas, sorry, because this is a really good exercise. Then, when you have a limited resources, and how do you mill like small circuit board with the big milling machine? It's a really good exercise in a way. So, can you explain a little bit like what was the size of the tool bits, or how did you like manage to stick the board on the surface of the machine? So this will give a lot of like ideas about like if you know how to mill a board when you have limited resources.
Okay, so I think the bit we used was 0.3 millimeters one. To basically to fix the board on the machine, we used some double face tape. And then to make sure the Z was correct, this was a trick that Saverio showed us. We used a little piece of paper, and so very gently we moved down the bit until the paper could not move anymore. So to indicate that the bit was nearly touching the PCB, and then yeah, we did a few tries to make sure that the path was correct, and then we changed a little bit the parameters, such as the feed rate, the plunge rate as well, which at the beginning I think was a little too high. So yeah.
I think it will be great if you can update all these parameters, you know, in your presentation somehow. Will be useful for others as well. But
Okay.
but so basically at the end you managed to get a like PCB, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Great.
Yeah, I agree with Chirac, and I told that to Fred yesterday. I think this has been very challenging to manage to do that without all the proper tools. And when some things like that happen, and they do happen, and they will happen again probably in different ways, it's the best thing is to document it very well, because it's actually hacking a tool which is not designed to do what it does, but that can do it. And I think that's excellent. That's excellent, because that means that labs that do not have a small milling machine can actually do things like that.
Yeah.
And it's great to document it and explain how, in the end, that worked. The trial and error is a very basic component of Fab Academy. If you don't ever have problems or make any mistakes, maybe you don't learn as much. So I mean, it's great to share that. I think that's good for everyone that did that.
It's true.
And congratulations, by the way, because it's
yeah.
But did you program it?
No, unfortunately, we didn't have time to program it because we were missing some components. The thing is, because we chose to do this particular ISP, the one with the USB port included, we would have to use components that were not in the original list, the original inventory. So yeah, the components we were missing, we ordered them, but they didn't. They were not delivered on time. So
Saverio, are the components now there? Hello, Saverio. Welcome
Hey,
to
hi. Yes.
With us there is also.
Huh?
With us there is also Chirac, my partner, Chirac Rangoli, my partner from the office.
Hi, Saverio.
Hi. So yes, we had the list for the FabESP components, but some of them were missing, and now that we have all of them, there was a mistake in buying the capacitors, some of the capacitors, so they are like the very small version. The package is like 406 or something like that, so we cannot use them.
But I mean, when you think the others are coming, arriving, big road.
That's Guillaume can tell us because he is doing the orders.
I think in a couple days, by Friday they should be there, all the right components. But since I am discovering electronics, need still to learn a few things to make the order and the small order which are done by today, and one will be 24-48 hours, and the other one might be a bit longer, so we have cheaper components not from Europe.
I would say since we are doing this exercise now, then there's this week is the 3D printing and scanning. Then we have another electronic week, next one. I would say let's just stop buying. I mean, And don't buy everything today in 2 different orders, but maybe wait a second and we do a good list, we check it out, and then we're ready to buy maybe tomorrow. Okay, so let's do a double check on what we are buying, right?
Okay. Good. So, Guillaume, with you, I see also there is a bus. Finally arrived. So, hello, Abbas. Welcome to the FAB Academy in Paris. Nice to see you there. I did a push and pull yesterday, pull and push, and I see that you didn't upload your website. So, I mean, this should be, you have probably 1 or 2 hours more to do it before NIL class. So try to upload the basic page, but there should be something from your side online. Okay? So let's go. Wait, there is
just a little problem about the Slack. I don't know if Guillaume has told you maybe because to send me a little invitation about my email, but the same problem that I didn't receive. I received nothing in my email. I don't know, maybe it's because of my email, but this is the problem. And also my website, I'm just discovering Woma and how to build the website and how to put the information as a documents and document all the information that we are dealing now. So that's it.
Okay. About the Slack, as I wrote you several times, I cannot invite you twice. So, or you send me another email.
I gave you, yes, I gave you a second email. But
okay, send me this other email by write me an email. And,
I will send it to you later.
And I will add you to Slack. Okay, let's go on. Francois is not there. Miguel, do you want to? Did you upload it?
I can take for 2 minutes. Like, I spent a lot of time to find the right electronic components, trying to mill the PCB with the tool we had, and I didn't push nothing yet. I think it will be done by tonight, maybe not by noon. I'll try by noon to have at least something done, but spend a lot of time on the machine trying to get something right with what we had. So yeah, basically I did learn a lot, and I think this week I'll do a first documentation this morning to have something for the class, and then I'll spend a couple days trying to share our mistakes, because since when the mill arrived, the right milling bits, like it took me, I don't know, 2 trials to make it right, and also the copper we had in France was not as good as yours, or it's the epoxy, or I don't know. And when we tried with the PCB stand, it was clean at the first time. So now it's something we master, and I'll try to explain how it went.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of important. From your side, I would say that it's crucial that you explain exactly all the process for the setting up the milling bit, and also explain how you broke it. I know that you broke 3 of them, which is kind of a tragedy, since we broke 5 in Frosinone in all the FAB Academy. But it's okay. I mean, we have, it's not okay. We have a limited budget for the material, but I understand that you were doing something that is a bit more difficult.
I've got the process now. It's like learning by killing, something like that.
Yeah. Now, just be very precise on your documentation, because I want the others to set up the machine by themselves as well. So, you know.
We started to do that. Like almost everybody uses the mill.
Yeah, it's very important that you explain.
Everybody knows in theory how to use it, and some used it in practice.
Again?
Again, sorry. I said everybody, all the students know theoretically how to use it. They all saw how to use the mill, and some of them did it with their hands. Like I showed everyone, but not everybody practiced.
Okay. Well,
And yeah, lot of small mistakes. I'll document, not maybe with all the right photographs, but at least a long text explaining right.
okay, good. Let's move on. Ludovic.
Yes, I'm here. Hi everyone, welcome to Abas. So, as Thomas said, this week was very challenging. So the goal of the week is to make a Fab ISP. So I put down some words about what is a Fab ISP. Fab ISP is like a USB kit, and the aim is to program a microcontroller with nothing but only a USB cable. So first step is to design the Fab ISP. We choose the ND Fab ISP. So ND archive section on the Fab Academy website was very useful. So we take the PNG for that. First step was to convert the PNG file into a vector file. Then to program the mill, thanks to the software due to it. Software was vCarve Pro, so we done in, and quickly we had our first result. So I put some information about the milling and the security around the milling, etc. I put some videos to show how it was working. So, and our first result was very surprising, maybe for many reasons. Maybe the problem with the programming of the mill, maybe problem with the head of the mill which we use, because we use obtuse angle mill. Maybe a problem with the zero Z axis, and as Thomas said before, we do it manually, so with very large approximations. Maybe the CNC machine is too big, too large for the precision expected. So we have to work on this possible cause to improve our PCB. So on and I don't know, maybe Friday. No, it was on Monday. We finally had a quite good result. So and with this result, we envisage to begin solder. But yesterday, finally, we changed mill tools. We changed the end of the mill.
Those are all the board. Yes, interesting.
Yes. So we changed the end of the mill. We improved the programmation on vCarve. We take new substrates for PCB. Finally, yesterday at the end of the afternoon, we had an excellent result. I put yes, it's the N. Okay.
Go on, Ludovic. We are.
Yeah, it's yeah. So my conclusion is that we've checked and we changed all parameters, and we have the best result with the best tools, with the high quality of substrate for PCB, with high quality of end of mill, etc. So my conclusion is when you use all the best tools, the quality is excellent. If you don't use the best tools, or if you try tools not expected for the quality, it's quite good, but it's never good. So this picture is the best milling we have.
That's good.
Which milling bit is this? The neat one? Which is the milling bit you used for the clear one?
We use the large CNC machine.
It was a 1/64th of an inch.
Perfect.
Yes, this one, yes.
Yeah. But for example, there's this one like before you use the 1/64. Now there is an image where there are trashes which is really bad.
Do you see the screen, Ludovic?
No,
No, you don't see?
yeah, I see, but sound is not quite. It's not good.
Okay.
Could you repeat, please?
I'll say it again. The image you see right now on the screen, you see the trashes are really bad right now.
Yes, the image is clean, but it's not the final result.
Yeah, no, I know, but you know, sometimes even you use 1/64, you get this kind of trashes because there are like the one main reason is when the PCB is not flat. You know, the bed of the milling machine is not flat, you get this kind of bad result. But then there is also a way to clean it. You know, in order like you cannot just destroy it, but you can take another PCB which you don't use and you can swipe it with that and you can clear these trashes. But no, this is just to say that okay, this is not like that you can just throw it away. It can be used as well.
Did you understood what Chirag said? It's a good tip.
Okay.
The board. Use another board in order to sweep on top of it.
Okay. But I must underline that this week was teamwork. It was
well, the final result looks pretty good and clean. Eh?
It looks very good, I think.
Yeah.
And no, it's very neat result. I'm impressed again. And yeah, the one that Chirag was showing on the picture is actually probably usable, but needs to be curated a little bit. But yeah, the end result, the last picture you show, it's very very neat, and that's a pretty impressive result, I think.
So
the only problem we had with this with the final result you can see here is that all the shape are very round, and I'm not quite sure because I'm not so experienced if it's a problem of the machine going too fast, but it was set to a very slow speed, or maybe it's the precision of the machine which can't reach to very squared angles, and it just got these rounded edges.
It is a bit strange, I agree. I was looking at that, but I don't know that one. I've never milled that one PCB, so I didn't know whether the paths were like that, or maybe the way the paths are done, you get curves where you expect more right angles.
No, that's okay, but you see, for example, the pad were squared, okay?
no, I think it's more about RPM, because when you are using a big machine, it has more speed, because it's cutting like thick wood and other different metals. So it's a concurrence of RPM and the speed. It's not just about speed. Like you can go slow, but if the bit is rotating so fast or slow, you're not gonna get the good results. So that's one thing you need to be checked.
Okay.
I've got a question about that. May I?
Yes.
Okay. So what we basically used is 18,000 rounds per minute, and moving very slow because I was scared for the milling bit to break, even though we just entered 0.0 in the PCB. But do you think that if we go faster, or if we go slower but just 11,000, the milling bit won't be too suffering?
Well, I mean, it's a very technical question. I cannot.
That's why we've got something working. So
No. It's great. I mean, but what I'm saying is like it's very technical questions. You know, like it's more about like making a trial and error test, and then you get the correct combination.
okay.
So machine to machine it changes. So it's not very specific to any machine. Maybe you can take the basics of Ronald, like the small CNC machine for the PCB, take that and start with that in order to get the correct combinations. You know, make a small. You can just make a square. Try to cut a square with different speed and rotation, and you get the correct result.
Yeah, so that's a nice test that actually you can do there. In fact, in this catalog that Ludovic is doing, this image that Ludovic is posting. 1 second, I want to go back to it. I guess it's a learning documentation. It's a useful documentation for everybody. This one. So from here, actually, it would be very nice if we have the settings of all of these trials. But since I guess you didn't do it, we can try with the new milling bits, doing squares and reporting the speed for the milling machine. You know, so speed and rotation for the milling machine. So it would be nice if we have a catalog of different trials and we try to reach the most accurate square. This is a nice experiment that we can do.
Sorry, one more comment. In the presentation, you know, instead of taking pictures, if you can take a screenshots of the computer, will be great to see. You know,
settings. You mean?
Yeah.
You mean here, no?
On the screens, like when you are taking pictures of the screens, instead of doing that, just take a screenshots, because that will, like, you know, in order to cross check for others, it will be useful.
Yeah, like this. Okay. Good. So thank you, Ludovic. I'm gonna move to the next one. Let me see. Hello, Ludovic, Frederic, you are uploading still the material, but you want to. Is there something? There is something online.
Hello, everybody. No, what I would say. In fact, this week I was not present last week. I was present only this week. As I understand, it was mainly a team job that was done, mainly drive by Guillaume and Thomas. The thing is that yes, we use a big machine to do small things. We achieved at the end to have a good board, but it was yesterday at 8 p.m. And in the same time, it was interesting to see this machine running. But for the moment, we have just a board. We have no board with all the components, etc. So I'm a bit frustrated by this, because the aim of the week was to build a ISP card. But yes, I learned things about the machine. At least I saw how to move the file from ProCurve to the machine, how to manage physically the machine, even if I did it less than Guillaume or Thomas. About soldering, I learned how to use the solder paste, and this was great. It's really a quick way of doing the soldering. This is interesting.
Can you explain a little bit what's this technique?
Yes, in fact, in my new push, I did it. No, basically, we use the solder paste. We put it on the connectors of the chip, and then we just hit with this tool. I don't know what is the name, with the heated air
Again.
On at the end you get a very clean soldering. The only thing is that you must really take care of position of the chip, of course, and also the card should not move when you do it, and the card will become hot when you do it, so you can't touch it anymore, even during the 2 minutes after doing it. It's still hot, so you can't touch it. But the result is really good.
I think sometimes you also need to be careful with the heat gun, because if it gets too hot, and if it is as you are saying, it's like hot after even 2 minutes, sometimes it's just destroyed the microcontroller. So probably, for the lead material, it doesn't need to get so hot. So just for that.
The problem with this hot air gun is that how do you say, the mouth of the gun is large, like this, is like 1 inch, and we don't have any reduction to have like a very small exit for the air, which should be the case for a hot air gun for soldering. So we need this attachment, and I don't know if it's an optional or something.
This attachment or a real soldering gun, because it exists some especially for soldering.
Yes,
I think this one is not especially for soldering. It looks more like decaper thermic. I don't know English for this, but I have one at home I use for the home working. I don't think it's a precision tool, this one.
No, okay, yeah, that's for sure. But the good thing about your presentation is that till now nobody was talking about soldering. Like the exercise is not about just milling; it's also about soldering.
Exactly.
So that's the good points you put forward right now, which is good.
Saverio, did they also try the traditional soldering?
Yeah, with the soldering iron.
And did they try on the small microcontroller?
I'm sorry?
Did they try to solder the small microcontroller?
With the soldering iron? I'm not sure. I think everyone used the...
Okay, because the hot gun is an additional tool. And the traditional one, the one that in any case they should know, is the soldering by hands.
Yes, of course, but the soldering iron we are using are a little too large for microcontrollers, in my opinion. We need a smaller tip.
Okay. Okay, let's take this one. Let's do an update of the material for the next week of programming. Okay.
Yep.
For the electronics. Good. And Ludovic, also let's. I guess you updated your documentation, right? Explaining a little bit more which was the process. Also with some data and information about the settings.
Is a remark for Ludovic or Frederic?
Frederic, pardon. Frederic.
Yes, in fact, I did an update this night, commenting all the photo on explaining the process I followed yesterday.
Perfect. Okay, thank you, Frederic.
Yeah, I'm just adding. I may repeat myself, but I can understand, Fred, your frustration. It's legitimate, and that will happen, and that will happen again. But you should value a lot the path, the learning path, rather than the end result. I mean, the end result, you will need to do it, but when you struggle, it's a learning path which you should value. I think it's It's really, that's what you will take away in the end.
Yes, yes, yes. But it is what I did in my page.
Yeah, that's good. No, I'm just thinking
I did not
for yourself in terms of documentation.
Stated in my web page.
That's good. That's good.
Okay, so let's go back to our favorite K team. Well, Roman.
Yes. Hi.
How is going? How was the week?
The week was long. In fact, the problem, yes. The week was the team working week. We did a lot, and the mostly things we do is the cutting the on the monster machine that trying to work with the 1 centimeter long or 3 centimeter long thing. Okay, so we did on CNC. We cut a lot. We cut too deep. We cut not enough deep. Sometimes we even tried, and it was even didn't touch the surface. So the first result, when we didn't come enough good, we passed to soldering. So we have the. You go too fast, in fact.
No, I'm checking. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So yes, we had a short presentation from the expert in electronics, Fabien, who came last Thursday, and at the evening when we had first result and at 6 o'clock, he make a short demo how we use the soldering using the past and soldering past. He told us that the heating is okay. I mean, the heating that produced this tool and using the heating for microcontroller is okay. I mean, we will not overheat it. But in fact, yes, the tool is huge. This tool is for the building. It's not for the soldering. The problem is we can use this tool only once on this micro board, because if we want to use this to solder another component, we will not. It will hit completely the board because it's too huge. So okay. But it was cool, as you said, it was the experience to use the hammer for production of the microscope. So okay, it's possible. We show it is possible. So I try to document the process, how it was done. It was interesting. We use I discovered for me this soldering method by heating and pass, because as many of us, I finished my soldering on the methods that comes from the 90s, you know. So yes, the soldering with iron I used on the first version of the chip. So I put 2 components on it, but we didn't have all components, so I didn't finish it. Then next Tuesday we did another cut, and it became much better than the Thursday. So we tried and we started to solder in it. So we did first soldering by the controller and then the version 3. So we passed on the really good result, and it doesn't have any bridges, because if you see we did the manual finishing for the card, because it has a lot of bridges, not finished cutting, not finished pass. We discovered it by visual control. So we cut it manually, we prepare it, we started to solder, and the version 3 is arrived. So I think we will do this K working by using this last version 3 of the card. But I name it version 3. It's
great. At the end, you guys achieved a really good PCBA.
Yeah.
Right? The big machine with a small bit. It's a challenging task.
Yeah, of course.
One of you is gonna, Thomas, I will ask you to explain, you or Romain, the process to Neil. You know, this is something that we should share with the rest of the Fab Labs.
You mean on my documentation?
Yeah. I guess it's probably the one that is a little bit more detailed this time.
Okay.
But also the one of Romain, as usual, is very good.
Yeah, this, I just reminded there's some rules for soldering, like soldering about the components orientation, about the soldering direction, that we start from the center to outside and from the top to down, just to have always access to the soldering component that we work right now, and that other components doesn't bore you during the soldering.
But guys, try to update the parameters, which is really important for this exercise. Like in your case, because since you have a different, not non-standard tools to generate a PCB.
Yeah, it would be great to have like a table of parameters.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure that we have them, but
I'll take care of it.
That particular exercise.
Okay, I'll take care of that.
The best, just to make a remark that Guillaume did the great work this week. He passed a lot of time, and it's mostly his work that we arrived on this result finally.
No, thanks God we have Guillermo and not Saverio. Saverio, I don't know. No, but I know. Guillermo is gonna be. It's a reference for this exercise, and it will be.
He's the one who can use the CNC milling, and it's all written in French.
No, it's gonna be also even more helpful for the CNC. Right? He's really an artist with it. So, apart from this, I'm pretty much happy about how it was. We took note, just to let you know, we took note of all the difficulties that you had, and we will try to have every proper tool by the next assignment. So we will improve the one for the soldering, and also change the heat gun. So I mean, it can be a little bit more smooth, the process. I will say that the result probably that you achieve for the electronics can keep us with the CNC. We can go on with the CNC, at least for now. We will see later if we cannot achieve something, we can move to the Roland. In any case, I would say thank you, Roman. I would like to say hi to Lorenzo, which is there with his students, and also to Romain. So hello guys. Lorenzo is there?
Just 1 second, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm very sorry, Lorenzo. Just 1 second. Saverio found a small milling tool, which seems to be great. Maybe we can double check together. That was just my point.
Okay. And another.
Sorry, you can keep.
No, don't worry. And also another comment with Mathieu. Mathieu did a great job by preparing the extra class. And I will say, Mathieu, we can even upload the slides on our website, the one that you prepared together with the specialist. So we can even add this documentation in our lab.
They're on Slack, the slides. But yeah, I think there's a very thorough presentation, which is a bit. The idea is to translate a little bit what Neil says into a more accessible language.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. That's the goal.
It's a good comment.
Okay. So Lorenzo, we will have some extra slides uploaded in our lab page in WAMA volume for the Fab Academy. So I mean, it can be a good documentation that you and Roman can with your students probably. Can you hear me?
What? Sorry. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you perfectly.
You want me to upload some documentation?
No. We can upload a presentation that Mathieu did with our specialist in Paris, and I mean it's something I'm gonna share with you and Romain. It's let's say a guide how to solder and how to approach electronics. Well, basically, it's something that they use for this week in order to conclude the afternoon. In any case, how it's going there? How was the week?
Well, luckily today we have 3 students. So it's incredible. For we have two students that you didn't met yet. You guys didn't met yet. I don't know if you would you like to talk, Gerard?
Yes, why not?
Yeah, d'accord. Do you have time? Just
Yes, we still have 10 minutes.
Okay, Gerard, would you like? So. Attends que je.
Ah oui. So hi, my name is Gérard. I cannot come before because I am working the Wednesday. So
just present yourself.
What?
You are. And
I'm Gérard Bandini, and I live in Bastia, town in the north of Corsica. And as I said, I cannot come all the Wednesday. So this is the first Wednesday when I can be here. So hello.
Gerard, no?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So that's your page. Can you see the screen?
Sorry.
Can you see the screen? I'm in your page.
Yeah.
Yes,
I see it.
We can see your screen.
Go on. So you just arrived, basically, no?
Talk
you
about
couldn't attend the previous meeting.
And what you did for.
Okay. So my final project is to modify an equatorial mount for a telescope, which I already have, to motorize and automatize as much as I can. So the page isn't still very complete, but it gives you an idea of what I want to do.
So you're going to hack an existing tool, right?
Yes, it's to modify an existing tool.
Okay.
Not to create from scratch because it's very too expensive, and this requires a lot of precision.
Yeah, but why not 3 axes instead of just 2?
Just because the mount have 2 axes, the right ascendant and the declination, and it's all what I need, what I want for this project. Maybe later I can add some motorization for focus, for aligning, but right now this is only motorization I need, really.
Okay, that's interesting.
And how was this week? Did you work on the electronics?
Yes, I already done my board last week. I just need to add a wire because a track has gone. So just need to add a wire to replace the track and to test the board because I cannot have the time to test it right now.
Okay, so in general you soldered all the components.
I'm already used to solder some board in the past, so that went good. No problem in particular.
Okay. Sorry, what's your background?
My background, I just a passionate. I don't have any graduates in any electronics or yes, electronic maintenance, but that's all. All my knowledge are. I'm not good in English. Sorry.
It's clear. It's clear. We can on the website.
And I'm a bit shy, so so I didn't study very deeply electronics or all these things like that. Just I'm passionate, so I learn, I read, try, I fail,
Okay,
and
perfect.
I redo again.
Good. Thank you, Gerard.
Thank you.
Lorenzo?
Yes.
So you just can probably go with another student.
Yes, we have Lucia.
I would like to know how was this week there. You know, if you can tell us. As you saw, we struggled a lot in Paris, but actually, I think the result was good. So let's just recap.
I mean, here we struggle too, especially because as most of the Fab Lab, we don't have, as a few of the Fab Labs, we don't have the Roland MDX20. So we have the biggest one, the 40 MDX, and we were looking for a way to use it with the FEM modules and with CopperCam or other software. So we struggle a bit with it. We find a way to use FEM modules, even if sometimes it didn't work out in a good way. So we were so we tried CopperCam and it was fine, kind of. It was a mess basically, but I mean, luckily we milled the boards, so yeah, we are in the process of troubleshooting the problems and see if the boards works fine. Yeah, if you we broke some bits as normal. So, yes.
How many bits you broke?
3.
Ah, okay.
It was just a good start.
With 6 students.
Yes.
I did better. I broke 4.
No. Oh, okay, bravo.
4, Guillaume, I was at 3. Yes.
I mean, you said 3. Now it's 4.
No, maybe it's 3. Okay, so we're even.
Every minute it's getting higher the number. Anyway, so if you want to just, I can. Would you like to talk, Lucia? Just. Oh, okay. No, Lucia, she's here, but she's still working on his soldering. So yeah, she luckily did mill at the board. Now she's in the process to learn of how to solder it and yeah, each component. So it's still work in progress here.
Okay. Let's
Can I say something? Can I say something, guys? Just about the milling bits and the breaking of milling bits. Now, okay, we are in the Fab Academy and we are allowed to make mistakes, and it's okay. But remember that when you will use a Fab Lab in the future, maybe you are going to a Fab Lab in some part of the world and you are going to use their machines. If you break something, you pay for what you break. So be extra careful on whatever you use. Okay, so now you're allowed to do mistakes, but it's a good practice to be very, very careful. Okay.
Also, no, it's important what you say. Also, because it needs to be clear that we have a limited budget for material.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, those bits cost each one of them.
How are you?
We should be kind of careful, but in the next weeks, I would say we should have a better result. This week, I understand it was quite difficult
to
manage. I expect next weeks to be less destructive, let's say. Okay, so let me move to Roman. Roman, can you give us an update of how it was the week there? Did you have any difficulty? Do you have the Roman?
How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. We're good. So, like this week, I had to order like electronics from DigiKey. So I have a list. I can share it with you, like from the on the DigiKey website. So I'm waiting for the components. They're supposed to arrive today. Then here we have the MDX40A. So I started again to mill, just like as a reminder for myself, you see. So actually, I've bought some bits from SIF in France. That is pretty expensive, but pretty good ones. But I'm not sure we're gonna keep using those ones because they're good, but they get rough pretty fast. And so basically, we tried ND's PCB, and that came out pretty well, like that, for example. But we could see that there was a problem somewhere on the PCB that fab module is not processing the rootage properly. So some parts are not even missing, but it's weird. So we have to correct that.
May I, on that, give you a tip?
Yep.
Like your milling bit is supposed to be 1/64, and some paths are too small. So you say that it's smaller. That it's not 1/64.
I know that I'm using a 0.1 millimeter right now.
Not?
0.1 millimeter.
Okay, strange.
No, do you have anything to say, Guillaume?
It's like, for me, it's like we had the same problem, and it was not going through these passes.
It's not about the pass.
The bit.
It's about the process, like in fab module. It's not like processing it properly, I think.
Okay.
I tend to think that's the problem, because like on the other version of the fab ISP, there is no error on it. You see?
It was the same for us.
And that one, I knew it because I made it during Fab Academy when I was a student, and I knew it would work, and it came out like the same. So I don't know why, but anyway, we don't really care because we have the choice between like several ISPs. So this is kind of where we are. Like Andreas is here today, so the rest of the people are gonna join us later. So I guess he's gonna explain you what is done and where. Gonna leave you for a while.
Okay, can everyone hear me? Hello.
Hello.
Maybe as you know, the Fab Lab Digiscope is really far from Paris, so I have the chance to have access to another Fab Lab in Paris. But the SIF tool was kind of old, so the program of Galan was really overrated. So they allowed me to do some tests with it. So it was my first time with the CNC machine. So I got some better result than this one, but this is one of the results I got with the broken tool. It was a 10-degree cone, and it was really cheap, so it ended by getting really rough. But as a first training, I got really comfortable for the machine, so for me it was really a good experience, because until now it was the only machine that scared me a little bit, because I thought it would be way more complicated than that. And now I feel a little bit more confident. So today I'm going to do a test with the machine of Romain. So I know it's a more standardized machine. So I'm really happy to have the two components, and I hope I can do my circuit as soon as we get the components. And to train myself to soldering, I also just took some random surface components, because I always soldered components with that you have to stick it through the board. So I never made surface components. So I just trained myself to do it with the heat gun and the solder.
Okay. Andres, just start putting more information on your page.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of 1 week late. I did my my documentation of the other weeks, and I think I make it a little bit better. And I have everything on my computer, but I just need to push it for this week, because I took a lot of pictures of all my tests. And I also did something that I know I shouldn't do, but I was in the university, so I had the chance to have the opportunity to make it chemically. And I know it's not something that I'm going to repeat, but I just wanted to see the process of doing it. So I went with a teacher that showed me how to do the circuit, and he actually kept it, because I didn't even want to use it for the Fab Academy, but I just wanted to see how the process was made.
Okay.
Guys, last comment. Like, I think everyone should more emphasize on showing the mistakes and how you are solving it, rather than showing the end result. The end result is not important right now. The most important thing is the mistakes you are making and how you are solving it, because that's when you learn. It's about like learning process.
Absolutely.
Not
And
about the end result, but more important thing is the whole process.
and actually, that's what I.
Specify as well the machines that you are using, and this is also for Lorenzo. Lorenzo, I mean, since we are not, basically nobody of us until now used the Roland machine, the monofab. Romain, do you have it there, the monofab?
Monofab, no, we have the MDX 40.
Okay. Well, in any case, until now, nobody of us used the typical machine. So it's kind of interesting to compare all the exercises that we did together. And Lorenzo, I will say that, yeah, you should add this information as well in the page.
So, Aldo, what's the point with the monofab? Is it the one we're supposed to get now, or?
No. Look, in Barcelona we have the Modella, Roland Modella.
Yeah.
In Frosinone we used the monofab, and it was okay. The final goal is to have a circuit working. So really, we can use CNC machine as well. There is no problem. I'm just saying that usually the Rolands are the most common machine, and the settings are pretty much the same for everyone. But we're not gonna use it.
Yeah, because there was a switch between when the 20, when they stopped like selling the 20 and people had the 40, and then came out the SM20. It was confusing. Anyway, like I think like many people in France they have the CIF and they don't seem to be so happy with it. So, but I think I'm gonna try to work with them to prepare kits for us in France, because it's tricky. We need to, maybe we would need to source locally, and they were pretty open to the idea.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get good prices. I would like to work with data, but obviously it's not the best way to do it.
Okay, let's see where this discussion can bring us, and if we can team up about this topic.
Sure.
Okay, perfect, guys. I would like to thank you all for this week 4. Andres, check the documentation again. Work more on the documentation, and I will take a look at what Roman is doing in our lab. To Thomas, we have students that are putting online really a lot of good information about every week. So, I mean, I know that you are doing exactly the same path, but share it with all of us.
Absolutely.
And also, I would like to thank Mathieu for the preparation of this week and the documentation that he is preparing. Saveri and Guillen for fixing all the problems that we had with this experiment that we were running in the lab. And also Chirac for helping us with this review, this week 4. I'm trying to set up the next electronic review with Chirac and also with Emma from FabLab Amsterdam. So she's gonna probably join us, and we can even exchange our experience with this other group. So not only the French side, but also the Dutch side. Well, and that's it. We can talk next week. I will be pulling and pushing at 12:30. Okay. So I will do a last push in 1 hour. Okay. See you later, guys. And Thomas, be ready, because I would like Saverio to introduce you for the presentation we need, if it's possible. Okay. Good. Thank you, guys.
Ciao.
Bye.